What's up, guys? Many of you don't know, I'm Daniel Colombo. I'm Austin Bardo's editor and media guy. And pretty much we're just doing this video to fill in the gap between the build right now, and gonna let Austin take off from here and introduce himself.
I'm Austin. I drive the number 730 BMW E36. Currently trying to get my Pro 2 license this year. Gonna do I'm gonna try to do all of the Pro 2 shootout events, and then any other small events here and there like Grid Life and what's the one called?
The Drift Colorado series.
Well, yeah, and what's the one down?
Clutch Kickers.
I want to do a couple of them, but I really want to go down to No Coast. I haven't been down there.
Yeah.
Well, I have been down there, but last year I skipped it because I went to track days instead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want to go down there again.
Oh yeah. So pretty much, how did you get started in motorsports, and how did you end up drifting?
Well, I started racing motocross when I was little, actually. Raced probably 12 years, 15 years, something. Or I don't know exactly the amount of years. I'd have to actually think about it. Kept getting hurt, got hurt really bad. Ended up breaking both my legs, messing up my brain kind of a couple times. So, bought a E36 M3, went to a drift event down at PPIR. Didn't know really what drifting was, but went out there, and the second lap I connected the whole course, and I was like, oh damn, like I might be actually pretty good at this. I drifted at NA for a while, and then got a tax return, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna boost this thing. That was a bad idea because all I did, I was just spinning everywhere because it had stock angle still. So
okay.
It was really frustrating. Ended up building my own angle kit for it, just cut it with knuckles, and then started competing. Won a couple of single events, and then put a cage in it. Ended up blowing it up, and then I got another E36, which is the one I have now. Basically did the same setup, boosted it, caged it, put a nice angle kit on it, and then started competing pretty hardcore last 2 years. So now I'm trying to get my Pro 2 license this year.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Dang, that's actually insane. Pretty much it's, if you guys watch our YouTube series right now, we're showing the process of what it's like to build a Pro 2 E36 right now.
Just to clarify, I'm not in Pro 2 yet.
Yeah.
My whole idea about it is I'm going to go do the Pro 2 shootout events this year. And I want to build it as a Pro 2 car so I can use this year as testing for it. Then when I do make it to Pro 2, the car is basically set up and I'm used to it. Mm-hmm. So there's less guesswork when I do get to the first FD Pro 2 event. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, I absolutely get it, because it's pretty much you're building a Pro 2 car, but you don't have your Pro 2 license yet. So when you do get your Pro 2 license and go to a Pro 2 car, you don't have this what's it called, the tech sheet hanging over your head.
And like the car setup, because I got true rear coilovers on it now. It's gonna have more power. Mm-hmm. The whole it's gonna be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to weed out the bugs now. So then when I'm at a Pro 2 event where I've spent a bunch of money just to get there, and I don't want to have to deal with it then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm trying to be 5 steps ahead of everything. I know I can drive at the level of getting into Pro 2. I've had car issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, last year I drove the whole season without a single issue. I changed the oil maybe once in it. And I mean, besides breaking axles, which were just AutoZone cheap $60 axles.
Drive shaft at Grid Life.
Yeah, so all that stuff should be sorted. I got my engine built. Mm-hmm. So it should be good. I'm going to be doing a lot of driving this year just to kind of get familiar with it and
Yeah. Pretty much. Do you just want to run down like the build sheet of your E36 as much as you can?
Okay, so basically, I guess we can start with the engine.
Yeah.
It's got Potter X-Beam rods.
Still a 2.8, right?
It's a 2.8 liter, yeah. The rods are kind of overbuilt for what it is. They're good for like 450 horsepower per cylinder or something like that. They're like drag race.
Yeah.
And then it's got custom JE pistons. It's 9-to-1 compression. It's got a cut ring head gasket, which is basically a cheaper way of O-ringing your head and block.
Yeah.
It's got a built head, everything minus cams. I haven't really maxed out the cams yet.
Yeah.
I was maxing out my turbo before it had a 6262. It's gonna have a 6466 now. It's got ported, polished head, Ferrera dual valve springs, titanium valves. It's hard to remember everything that's in it. It's got this pretty dope intake manifold on it. Not really many people run it. Other than that, I mean, it's got ARP head studs, ARP main studs, ACL race bearings. It was built by TJRC. James and Andrew over there put it together for me. So it should be pretty reliable. I mean, this thing, if it had the fuel and the turbo, it'll make 1,400 horsepower.
Yeah.
But I overbuilt it so it'll last
absolutely.
at like 700-800.
Because you're only using 75% of the potential.
Roughly, yeah. So.
Instead of like 99%, where that 1% could send over the whole.
Yeah, I mean a stock M52 will do 650 for. That's what I was running before.
Dang, that's insane.
Yeah, Stewart water pump to help feed the rear radiator setup that I got going on it now.
Yeah.
That's a basic upgrade on any M52 engine.
Yeah.
That anybody should do. And then it's got a rear mount radiator. We just redid the whole rear tube chassis on it. It didn't have one before, and I put it in the wall at PPIR, and it just needed some work back there. It's got a stock transmission in it, a ZF. I haven't had a single issue with it. It was the stock transmission that I got the car, and the car had 220,000 miles in it, so. It's got a quartermaster triple disc clutch with a 7-pound flywheel. It's pretty light.
Yeah.
Gonna have Link ECU. M-Spec's gonna tune it here when I get it put together and painted and stuff. But that's basic. It's got an MG Solutions angle kit, Silver's coils, Sparco seats. I mean, just the regular stuff. I mean, it's a pretty nice build, but it's not anything really special.
Yeah, it's just pretty baseline of what a standard drift car should be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see really a reason to put a quick change in it because the rear diffs.
The winner's quick change, by the way.
Yeah, the rear diffs are so easy to change. They're held in by 3 bolts.
Yeah.
You just pop the axles off just like anything else. You can probably change one in 10 to 15 minutes, and they're strong. And I have 3 different gear ratios.
Yeah.
So if I do need to do a gearing change, I can. And they're like $100 at most. And my transmissions will hold 700-800 horsepower, and they're $400.
Because the winner's quick change set's like.
It's expensive. It's like
$500 per gear or something.
I don't know how much the gears are, but I know how much the initial setup is with the subframe and all that. And I don't want to go through all that yet.
It's like $3,000.
Yeah, if I make it to Pro 1, I want to build like an F80 M3 or something like that. Find one in Copart and build one of those because they're tight looking.
There you go.
So, and I would honestly still run this drivetrain, or not. I mean, I might probably put a Samson's gear box in it and a quick change in that.
Like a dog box?
Yeah. No, sequential probably.
Okay.
But I would probably still run the M52 because I have so much research and development in this. I don't really see. I mean, they're pretty damn strong. I don't see really a need to put a 2J or anything in it. I've been really competitive with this engine, so I have it figured out. So.
I mean, it's like, because as of right now, like we're going to these Pro 2 shootouts. As you'll see, it'll be me and him, and I'll be the media guy. Because because all for all we know, we might be the only two going out to these Pro 2 events. So
Well, I do have a lead on a mechanic that is going to come out with us.
okay, there you go.
He works at BMW, so.
So there's that. But at the same time, I brought up a good point with him. He was just like, he knows the car well. He knows how to work on them. So if I'm out in the boonies, like trying to get video and photos for him, and he breaks something, he can go back to the pits and figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I built this car once.
Yeah.
Actually, this is probably my fourth turbo BMW. I'm actually in the process of putting all my old stuff on a practice car that I'm building right now. So they're easy. People think BMWs are so hard to work on, but they're
it's just like any cars over time.
I mean, they're 15 years old. Like, that can't be that hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. So yeah, on the next episode we'll have Nick the fabricator on here, and he'll talk about the lengthy process of welding up a rear tube frame, rear mount radiator, the process of designing a blast plate for the transmission and clutch and transmission, front tube frame design and gussets, and rear subframe reinforcement, and just
like 100 hours worth of job alone on it. So. Actually, probably more than that. There's probably 250, 300 hours of fab work.
I think we're about 5 weeks into this build, so he'll talk about that, talk about his frustrations if you want to, but yeah,
make sure to work for, I guess.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.